everyone. Welcome back to Speak Easy English, your daily English practice. I'm Emma.
And I'm Brown. We're so happy you're here with us today. If you're new, subscribe so you don't miss our daily episodes.
So, Brown, you seem a bit down today. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Well, actually, I'm not sure how to describe it. My friend asked me yesterday if I was sad or unhappy, and honestly, I couldn't explain the difference. Aren't they the same thing?
And that's exactly what we're talking about today. Sad versus unhappy. Two words that seem similar, but actually mean very different things. A lot of English learners mix these up.
Well, you're right. I use them interchangeably all the time. To me, they both just mean feeling bad. But there's more to it, isn't there?
There definitely is. Today, we're going to make the difference crystal clear for you and for everyone listening. By the end of this episode, you'll know exactly when to use each word and why it matters.
Let's do it. Start with sad, because that's the word I use most often when I'm feeling down.
Okay, sad is a temporary emotion. It's a feeling that comes from a specific event or situation. When something happens that hurts you or disappoints you, you feel sad. It's short-term and it passes.
So sad is like a wave that hits you and then goes away?
Exactly. Think of sad as a reaction to something specific. Your friend moves away, you feel sad. You watch a touching movie, you feel sad. You lose a game, you feel sad. It's tied to a moment or an event.
Ah, that makes sense. So when my client canceled our big project last week, I felt sad. That was a specific event that made me feel down in that moment.
Right, and probably a few days later, that sad feeling faded away. That's the key thing about sadness. It's temporary. It's an emotional response to something specific, and it doesn't last forever.
Yeah, exactly. I was sad for maybe 2 days, and then I moved on. So what about unhappy? How is that different?
This is where it gets interesting. Unhappy is about a state of being, not just a temporary emotion. It's deeper and longer lasting. When you're unhappy, it's not about one event, it's about your overall life situation or condition.
Oh, so sad is about how you feel right now, and unhappy is about how you feel in general?
Yes, picture it like this. Sad is weather, a passing storm. Unhappy is climate, the overall conditions that last for a long time.
That's a really helpful comparison, weather versus climate.
Let me give you a perfect example. You can be unhappy in your job, but feel sad when your coworker leaves. The sadness about your coworker is temporary and specific. The unhappiness with your job is ongoing and about the whole situation.
So I'm unhappy with my job means the job itself, the environment, the work, everything is making me feel bad over time. But I'm sad my coworker left is just about that one specific event.
You've got it. Here's another one from my life. I was sad when my cat, Whiskers, died 3 years ago. That was intense grief, a powerful sad feeling tied to that specific loss. But before that happened, I was unhappy living in my old apartment. The apartment itself, the neighborhood, the noise, it all made me generally unhappy for months.
Your cat, I remember you telling me about Whiskers. That was such a hard time for you. Did the sadness go away eventually?
It did. I was deeply sad for about 2 weeks. I cried every day. But gradually the sadness faded. I still miss her, but I'm not sad about it anymore. The sharp pain of that emotion passed with time.
That makes sense. What about unhappy versus not happy? Are those the same thing?
Great question. Not happy is more neutral. It just means the absence of happiness. But unhappy is stronger. It means you're actively in a negative state, not just lacking positive feelings.
So if someone asks, are you happy with this design? And I say, I'm not happy with it, that's milder than saying I'm unhappy with it.
Exactly. Not happy means it's not quite right. It could be better. Unhappy means it's actually causing you distress or dissatisfaction. There's active negative feeling there.
I had a client last month, actually, Mrs. Chen. She kept saying she was unhappy with every design I showed her. Not just not happy, but genuinely unhappy. I could hear the frustration in her voice. It made me realize the whole project direction was wrong, not just small details.
Oh no, that sounds stressful. How did you handle it?
I had to completely restart. We had a long meeting where I asked what was making her unhappy. Turns out I had misunderstood her vision from the beginning. The whole aesthetic was wrong. Once we got on the same page, everything improved.
Good thing you asked. Sometimes unhappiness needs a bigger solution than sadness does. Sadness usually needs time. Unhappiness needs change.
That's a really important distinction. Sadness needs time, unhappiness needs change. Can you explain that more?
Sure, because sadness is temporary and tied to a specific event, usually time heals it. You feel sad, you process it, you move forward. But unhappiness is about your circumstances. If you're unhappy with your job, your relationship, your living situation, time alone won't fix it. You need to change something.
So if I'm sad, I should give myself time to feel it and let it pass. But if I'm unhappy, I should identify what's causing it and make changes.
Exactly. And here's something interesting. You can be generally happy, but still feel sad sometimes. These aren't opposites of each other. I'm happy with my life, but I still feel sad when something disappointing happens.
Right, like I'm happy with my freelance career overall, but I felt sad when that big client project got canceled. The sadness didn't mean my whole life situation was bad.
Perfect example. Now let's look at how we use these words in different patterns. Sad usually goes with about. I'm sad about the news. She's sad about failing the test. He's sad about moving away.
So it's sad about something specific.
Yes, because sadness is tied to specific events or situations, but unhappy usually goes with or about when talking about situations. I'm unhappy with my job. She's unhappy with her grades. He's unhappy about his living situation.
Unhappy with or about. Got it. What about feel sad versus be unhappy?
Good catch. We usually say feel sad because it's an emotion, a feeling, but we often say be unhappy because it's a state of being. I feel sad today. I am unhappy in this relationship.
Feel versus be. That really emphasizes the temporary versus ongoing difference.
Exactly. Though, honestly, you can use either verb with both words. The important thing is understanding the core difference. Sad equals temporary emotion. Unhappy equals ongoing state.
Can we do a comparison with some real-life examples? I want to make sure I really understand this.
Absolutely. Let me give you a story using both words. My friend Marcus called me last week. He said, "Emma, I'm so unhappy with my career path. I've been feeling this way for over a year." That's unhappy, a long-term state. Then he said, "And yesterday, I felt really sad because my mentor retired, and I didn't get to say goodbye properly." That's sad, a specific temporary emotion about one event.
So he's dealing with two different things, the ongoing unhappiness about his career and the temporary sadness about his mentor. The first one needs him to make big decisions, maybe change jobs. The second one just needs time to process.
You got it perfectly. How does that feel?
Like pieces of a puzzle clicking together. I've been using these words wrong for years, just throwing them around without thinking about the real meaning behind them.
That's so common. Even native speakers sometimes use them interchangeably in casual conversation. But understanding the true difference helps you express your feelings more accurately.
Can you give me a trick to remember which is which?
Here's what I tell my students. Ask yourself 2 questions. First, is this feeling about one specific thing that happened, or is it about my overall situation? Second, will time alone make this better, or do I need to change something? If it's specific and time will help, it's sadness. If it's ongoing and you need to change something, it's unhappiness.
Specific plus time equals sad. Ongoing plus change equals unhappy.
I'm writing that down right now.
Perfect. And remember, you can feel both at the same time. You can be unhappy with your job and also feel sad that your work friend left. They're not mutually exclusive.
Right, they layer on top of each other. Life is complicated like that.
It really is. Okay, now let's put it all together. Let me tell you about my student Jennifer, and you tell me if you can identify sad versus unhappy.
I'm ready. Go ahead.
Jennifer came to me last month. She said, "I'm unhappy with my English level. I've been studying for 3 years and I still can't speak fluently." That was her expressing unhappiness about an ongoing situation. Then she said, "I felt so sad last week when I couldn't communicate with a tourist who asked me for directions. I really wanted to help, but I just froze." That was sadness about a specific moment.
Okay, let me break this down. She's unhappy with her English level overall. That's the long-term state that needs change, maybe a better study method or more practice. And she felt sad about that specific incident with the tourist. That's the temporary emotion from one embarrassing moment.
Perfect. You identified both correctly and even explained what each one means for how to address it.
This is making so much sense now. I can actually feel the difference in my gut. Sadness is like a sharp pain that fades. Unhappiness is like a dull ache that stays.
That's beautiful, Brown. A sharp pain that fades versus a dull ache that stays. That's a perfect way to describe it.
So, how do we use these in common phrases? What are the typical collocations?
Great question. For sad, we have deeply sad, really sad, so sad, feel sad, make someone sad, sad news, sad story, sad face. These all emphasize the emotional intensity of a moment.
And for unhappy?
For unhappy, we have deeply unhappy, very unhappy, generally unhappy, unhappy marriage, unhappy childhood, unhappy customer, unhappy situation. Notice how these are all about states or situations, not momentary feelings.
Unhappy marriage. That's a perfect example. That's not about one bad day. It's about the whole relationship over time.
Exactly. No one says sad marriage. That doesn't make sense because marriage is an ongoing state, not a momentary emotion.
Right. You might feel sad during a marriage, like when you have a fight, but if the marriage itself is the problem, you're unhappy in the marriage.
You're really getting this. What about when people ask how you're doing? How would you use these words?
If someone asks, "How are you doing?" and I just had something disappointing happen, I might say, "I'm feeling a bit sad today." But if things in general aren't going well, I might say, "Honestly, I've been unhappy lately."
Perfect. And notice the time markers. Today with sad, lately with unhappy. The time words themselves show the difference.
That's a great observation. The time words are clues. Today, right now, at this moment, go with sad. Lately, recently, for a while, go with unhappy.
Exactly. Language naturally reflects these differences even if we don't consciously think about it.
What about in professional contexts, like in emails or at work?
In professional settings, unhappy is more common because you're usually talking about situations and conditions. The client is unhappy with the results. Employees are unhappy with the new policy. These are ongoing issues, not temporary emotions.
So I wouldn't say the client is sad with the results.
No, that sounds wrong. Sad needs about and a specific thing. The client is sad about the delay works because the delay is a specific event. But overall dissatisfaction with results is unhappiness.
This is so helpful. I use email with clients every day, and I've definitely been using these wrong.
Don't feel bad. This is subtle stuff. The fact that you're learning it now means you'll communicate more clearly going forward.
One more thing. What about the opposites? Happy versus glad versus joyful?
Ooh, that's a great topic. But that's probably a whole other episode. Let's stay focused on sad and unhappy for today.
Fair enough. Let's do the vocabulary section then.
Okay, vocabulary time. I'll say the phrase, you repeat, and then I'll explain. Ready?
Ready.
Feel sad. Feel sad. Feel sad. Feel sad. Experiencing temporary sadness about something specific. I feel sad when I think about my childhood dog.
A momentary emotion, not a lasting state.
Next one. Sad about.
Sad about.
Sad about.
Sad about.
The pattern for expressing what causes your sadness. She's sad about the news.
Connecting the emotion to the specific cause.
Next one. Be unhappy.
Be unhappy.
Be unhappy.
Be unhappy.
Existing in a state of dissatisfaction or distress. He's been unhappy for months.
A state of being, not just a feeling.
Next one. Unhappy with.
Unhappy with.
Unhappy with.
Unhappy with.
Dissatisfied with a situation or condition. I'm unhappy with my living arrangement.
The standard pattern for expressing ongoing dissatisfaction.
Next one. Make someone sad.
Make someone sad.
Make someone sad.
Make someone sad.
To cause someone to feel temporary sadness. The movie ending made me sad.
Creating that temporary emotional response.
Next one. Deeply unhappy.
Deeply unhappy.
Deeply unhappy.
Deeply unhappy.
Profoundly dissatisfied with a situation over time. She's deeply unhappy in her career.
Emphasizing the intensity of the ongoing state.
Next one. Sad news.
Sad news.
Sad news.
Sad news.
Information that causes temporary sadness. I have some sad news about our colleague.
News that will create that emotional response in others.
Next one. Unhappy situation.
Unhappy situation.
Unhappy situation.
Unhappy situation.
A circumstance that creates ongoing dissatisfaction. It's an unhappy situation for everyone involved.
Describing conditions, not momentary feelings.
Next one. Feel sad for someone.
Feel sad for someone.
Feel sad for someone.
Feel sad for someone.
To experience sadness on behalf of someone else's situation. I feel sad for families affected by the storm.
Empathy creating temporary sadness in you.
And our last one. Unhappy childhood.
Unhappy childhood.
Unhappy childhood.
Unhappy childhood.
A period of life characterized by ongoing dissatisfaction or distress. He had an unhappy childhood, but he's happy now.
Describing a long-term state during a period of life, not isolated sad moments.
Those are your 10 key phrases for today. Sad for temporary emotions about specific events. Unhappy for ongoing states of dissatisfaction with situations.
I feel like I've been walking around with these two words tangled up in my head, and now they're finally organized into separate, clear concepts.
That's exactly what good vocabulary learning feels like. Taking words you think you know and really understanding their true meanings and uses.
All right, that was our deep dive into sad versus unhappy. Two words that seem similar, but tell very different stories about how we feel.
Now, a question for you. Tell us in the comments. What's something that made you feel sad recently? And is there anything in your life you're unhappy with? Try to use both words correctly in your answer.
We love reading your examples. It helps you practice, and it helps us understand what you're learning.
And remember, sadness is temporary and tied to specific events. Unhappiness is ongoing and about your overall situation. One needs time, the other needs change.
If you enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe, and share with a friend who's learning English.
Hit that notification bell so you don't miss our daily episodes. We'll see you tomorrow with another easy conversation.
Bye, everyone.